Hello everyone and welcome, Smitty here, today bringing you another Mage Tower guide, today starring the Outlaw Rogue. This is the Transmog you'll receive, the recolor of the Tomb of Sargeras mythic set for completing the challenge against Agatha. Here I also have the Legion weapon Transmog, looks fairly good with it. Not a perfect match, but it looks pretty good. Overall, pretty happy with it. A lot of people think the green is a bit better. I kind of tend to agree. It does look pretty nice. So first of all, let's talk about gear. I want to preface this video with my experience on Rogue is limited to mainly BFA, Season 3 and Season 4 of Mythic Plus. I rolled it because Outlaw was so strong, and I actually had a lot of fun in a lot of buttons to push on this class. Really cool. So I tried to play Crit Verse, which I'm not sure is even the best anymore. It's just what used to be the best of BFA. So honestly, I have no idea. I tried to run as much Verse as I could, which is just nice for taking reduced damage, doing additional damage, etc. I found that I had Shroud of Resolve from last expansion, so I went ahead and used this. I did not use my Heart of Azeroth because I had a Crit Verse neck, Verse heavy. I ran Crit Food that I had in my bags from last expansion. I used drums. I Shadow Core Oil on both my weapons. I used Instant Poison and Crippling Poison comboed to slow some ads. We'll get into that during the kill clip. Just your standard Spectral Flask of Power and Potion of Unbridled Fury. As we all know, in Mage Tower, that potion is performing quite well. So let's hop on over to a Wildhead guide that I kind of used as a baseline, and this really helped me out. Just kind of like understand like maybe what I should be playing here, but I will tell you and share with you where I deviated from this guide. Also, a link to this guide you'll be able to find in the description box below. So a lot of these things I just spoke about, drums, armor kit, flask of power, etc. Enchants, just your normal run-of-the-mill stuff, nothing special here. Alright, so on the 15 row, I actually played Quick Draw. I think Ghostly Strike actually is more damage, but Quick Draw felt a bit nicer to me, just for the additional combo point generation and a little bit more damage. I felt like consistent, like when switching to ads, which you'll be doing a lot. Acrobatic Strikes on the 25 row is what I ran 100% of the time. Just, you're an Outlaw Rogue, always play this, so nice. This row, however, is the one I experimented with the most. I found that Mark for Death, while probably the best and making the most sense for ads, felt a bit clunky to me. In BFA, we always played Vigor or Deeper Stratagem. I played a lot of pulls with Vigor, but my kill was actually with Deeper Stratagem. That felt really nice for me, especially if I could build up a 6-point combo and couple it for when I dealt with the 1 minute ads, which we'll get into the kill clip. On the 35 row, I actually played Iron Stomach, which will give you, I think it turns out to be 6% additional healing every 30 seconds from your Crimson Vial. Cheat Death, I feel like it's not that important because if you get that low, you're probably just going to lose anyway. The 40 row, I actually played Dirty Tricks, which I thought was exceptional for this fight with all the ads. I would frequently use my Cheap Shot and Gouge, which I'll show you in the clip, and Alacrity as a baseline, Alacrity, excuse me, as a baseline. And Blade Rush definitely is the best performing in this row. I tried all three. Dancing Steel is what used to run a BFA. Kind of bad now, especially since you can more or less reset Blade Flurry with just using combo points. And I tried Killing Spree because my thought was if I played well enough and I get this down to 1 minute, every time I had 1 minute ads I could use it. However, I'll talk about it more as I'm going through the clip, but This can get you in a lot of trouble in phase 2, and it's very inconsistent. The Blade Rush is really nice. It's extra damage. The damage from Blade Rush is pretty nice, plus the energy regeneration is super nice. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into this kill clip. Here we go. Nice. Alright, I'll talk you through it. So you probably hear me talking as I was streaming before. Like I said, I ran Instant Poison and Crippling Poison, Shadow Core Oil, Crit Food. I had the Ferocity Drums, Unbridled Fury, Heavily Desolate Armor Kit, etc. But basically on the start, you're just going to, what I always found to do the best is just passively cleave the adds, because they're not doing much damage anyway. So just Blade Flurry and pop all your cooldowns and dump as much damage into Agatha as possible. So the way Agatha works is she spawns a bunch of adds that you have to deal with. So these servants, you can sprint to them, or you could grappling hook there is probably a bit better. So there's a good use of gouge. And those fuming imps, I found that you could always attack them, but kind of outrange them. If they never really truly made it to you, they wouldn't blow up yet. So I kind of use it to my advantage to always just kind of outrange them a bit. And that really helped not beginning their animation for exploding. So yep, so every so often this Dark Fury will be cast. Once this is cast, you need to DPS the shield to interrupt her. A lot of people will just say like you can avoid the fuming imps, you can just let them go off. I did not find that to be a good strategy, but I can see how it's feasible. So you see I got these adds. You can blind, you can gouge, you can stun. I'm sure I did not try to vanish and cheap shot, but that might be a thing too. I was worried about the vanish, that it might reset the fight. So you see just dealing with adds, doing normal rotational things with the Outlaw Rogue, keeping your slice and dice, going through the motions. Like I said, the deeper stratagem definitely felt pretty nice, but a lot of your damage actually just comes from melee. So that I feel like that slice and dice is just so critical. So that's what you want to be aiming for, is always being able to get at least one of them down while they're running up. It's not always possible, but as you get more attempts in, you'll get more comfortable with it. The big thing is when you're dealing with these particular sets of mobs to get down the proper mob. And you see I have a 5 proc here, which is super helpful. I feel like even if you were having a lot of problem with this fight, you could play it enough and just get enough. You could eventually get 5 procs to win. I think I actually get 2 5 procs during this encounter, which is super lucky. And my first one is expiring there. You can always just kind of have that kidney shot into a gouge on the adds there if you want to cheat for damage, which sometimes I do. I think that one of the most important things is every 1 minute the adds will spawn that will make the boss immune. It's critical right now. See, you gotta have Blade Flurry pretty much for these. If you don't, you're gonna be having a pretty rough time. You see me, I'm just kind of spread the love there. One of the fuming imps got their animation off and put a puddle on the ground. That's fine. So at 50%, Agatha will phase, and at this moment, she will bounce back and forth and spawn these balls. And I want to talk about Killing Spree here, because I had a pretty low wipe when I was playing it. So Killing Spree, I used it one time, and then I was going through the animation, and one of the balls like dropped on me, and it still stunned me, which felt really bad. And you can't control where you go. I'm assuming that maybe you could cancel it but that seems pretty counterintuitive for a 2-minute CD, so I felt like playing it honestly wasn't the best thing to do. So these are the ones that are really tough, and often what I would do in phase 2, I'm pretty sure I use cloak there. I just go ahead and cloak to preserve a lot of my health. I feel like you can also press evasion whenever you feel like on this encounter, which could be pretty good. You don't want to let those channel too long because they heal the boss, but if they heal a little bit, it's not too big a deal. So it's a lot of rinse and repeat. You can use your grapple here and sprint to close the distance. I'm not sure if I do both. You can also, whenever Agatha spawns the healing ads, just go ahead and very simply just use your grapple or sprint to get out to them and start working on them. So a lot of rinse and repeat, nothing crazy here. Just make sure, as long as you can get these ads down pretty consistently, you're going to do well. So my goal is to kind of always have, enough slice and dice to last for the whole duration of those ads. Always have Blade Flurry up, and then if I could be sitting on 6 combo points. So sometimes you can just literally one-shot some of those mobs, which is super nice. Plus all the splash damage really makes quite a big impact. So like I was talking about the Fuming Imp, as long as you stay a little ways away from it, you're good. So I'm just, like here specifically, I'm able just to kind of passively cleave the Imp, the Fuming Imp, so I'm not having to deal with its explosion ability too much. These are just the scariest moments. Let's see if I cloak this. I'm not sure if I do or not. I think you can actually cloak the stun from the balls. I want to say it's magic damage. Yeah, I do cloak here. As long as you basically just prioritize properly the ads, you're pretty much always going to, you have a really good chance of winning. Here's another 5 proc just when I needed it. Ads die really fast when you get the 5 proc, but don't count on that. I use a Adrenaline Rush here. I probably actually should have waited. Yep, translocate. So I burn a lot of it. I'd say if you get in trouble with the ads, the big set, you could probably lust and Unbridled to get through them, because I think the longer the fight goes, I feel like she spawns more. I'm not sure if that's actually true, but you see, I think there's 5 there, and sometimes there's an overlap with the healing ads as well. Here they come, the servants.
Let's fucking go, baby.
You hear me pretty happy about that? Felt pretty good. I think I had around 40-ish pulls,
Second
but
pull, I think.
But it wasn't too bad once I swapped to deeper stratagem. So I really appreciate you stopping by. If you found this video helpful or informative, please like and subscribe. I'll be bringing out more content. Also, I will drop a link to my Twitch channel. I sometimes stream there in the description box below. And lastly, what Mage Tower challenges are you interested in seeing from me? Drop that in the comment section. And if you're having any issue with this particular encounter, feel free to comment. I typically will reply to every comment as long as it's a reasonable question and not just trying to flame. But yeah, drop that in there and I will try to help you any way I can. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.